Heifers, S&J Split County Farm, United Producers, Glassmeyer Family Farm, Cherry Fork Feed and Supply, Merchants National Bank, Boot Country Work Country, River Hills Bank, Select Sires Members Corporative, Tyler Perrin Show Cattle, Wolfer Farms Feed and Supply, Pride Hill Farm and Landscape Center, Tim Rudd Clermont County Recorder, Bethel Feed and Supply Pet and Garden Center. Our grand sponsors, Carler Farms, Feed Mill Restaurant, Kubota Tractor of the Tri-State LLC, R.M. Armstrong Car-Op Insurance, Schinkel Farms, Snyder Family Show Cattle, and our supreme sponsors are Southern Ohio Equipment Services, Kramer Myers and Waring Dickerson Insurance, Higgins Steel Roofing, Last Minute Show Cattle, and True Cut Construction. Please thank our sponsors for tonight. We need Class 1 breeding heifers to be making their way to the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Elizabeth Hauserman, Emma Gibson, and Preston Graham. Please be making your way to the show arena. Emma Gibson, please be making your way to the show arena at this time. Emma Gibson. Entering the arena at this time is Class 1 breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Elizabeth Hauserman, Emma Gibson, and Preston Graham. We need Class 2 to be making their way to the show arena. These exhibitors are Wilson Smith, tag 5592, William Birdshaw, tag 2607, Travis Brandenburg, tag 2577, and Eliza Smith, tag 5591. Please be making your way to the show arena. Class 3 can be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Boone Burbage, tag 2551, Isaac Birdshaw, tag 2572, Ella Carlier, tag 2611, and Tanner Denton, tag 2601. Please be getting ready in the barn. We'd like to welcome our judge for tonight, Mr. Clint Hall. Him and his wife are the owners of Long Haul Cattle of Hillsboro, Ohio, and Maysville, Kentucky. They are also managing partners of Folly Farms Limousine. Long Haul Cattle are breeder of Charolais, Limousine, Red Angus, and Hereford purebred seed stock. They also produce and sell a select number of elite show steers and crossbred heifers. Clint and Kelly merchandise their show cattle and breeding stock through private treaty, consignment sales, and online sales. Clint was raised on a purebred Charolais operation in southern Ohio and has spent his entire life actively breeding, raising, and promoting purebred cattle. In the past 40 years, he has served on several cattle boards and guidance committees, helping to promote beef cattle and agriculture. Clint has exhibited and sold champions at county, state, and national levels in the United States and Canada. He enjoys judging and brings his passion and experience for the cattle industry to the show ring. Clint realizes the value of life lessons, work ethic, and agricultural awareness showing cattle encourages. He has judged shows at the county, state, and national level throughout the United States. Please give him a round of applause.
Well, thanks again for having me back this year for your County Born Show. It's kind of cool to be able to come back here because it's home to me. When on my bio there, when it talks about growing up, I was growing up here in Clermont County. So this is where I got my first experience in showing and raising livestock, and it's really a pleasure to get to come back to your home county and get the honor and privilege to be able to ask for your opinion. So with that, nice class of heifers to start here with. The little smoke heifer, I think, just really is the one that combines the most good things together. She's certainly the best one when we put her in motion. She's so much more correct off of her rear too. She's got more angulation to her shoulder. I think she sets back in her knee a little more correctly than our heifer that comes in second. Probably not quite the grow as our heifer in second, but I think just in terms of her balance and her makeup, she needs to find that first hole pretty easily. This heifer that comes in second, boy, you like this one standing still from her shoulder back. If I could change her and just make her a little neater out of her shoulder, give her a little more angulation, make her not quite so awkward off those front two. And with that, she needs to go more athletic off her rear two. She needs to set better down at the ground. I love her body. I love her symmetry. Just a really nice look. She just gets a little bit athletic today. The heifer completes a class, one that's got a lot of muscle. She is tremendously big topped. She wants to roll off in her hip a little bit. She doesn't set in her tail head quite as neatly. Really long and elegant about her front 1/3. She needs more rib, just balance up a little better. Great class to start off with. Give them a good round of applause.
Congratulations, first place, Elizabeth Hauserman, breeder Snyder Family Show Cattle. Second place, Emma Gibson, breeder Rob Lawball. Third place, Preston Graham, breeder Denton Family Farm. Entering the show arena at this time is Class 2. These exhibitors are Wilson Smith, William Birdshaw, Travis Brandenburg, and Eliza Smith. We need Class 3 breeding heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Boone Burbage, tag 2551, Isaac Birdshaw, tag 2572, Ella Carlier, tag 2611, and Tanner Denton, tag 2601. Please be making your way outside the show arena. Class 4 breeding heifers can be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Caleb Bromson, tag 2596, Kennedy Reynolds, tag 2480, and Lillian Seibert, tag 2578.
I think we got a really good class here, and I think there are 4 really good heifers in this particular class, and not real sure on what their ages are. But you know, this heifer that wins the class probably the farthest along in terms of maturity. But you know, you just start looking at them as a complete package, and to me, she just finds that hole. She's certainly the one that when you watch her get out and go, she's best at the ground. She's the best-footed one. She's the one that gets out. She's got more angulation to her hock. She sets down more comfortably in her rear foot, and I really like that about her. I think she's cool enough necked, and I think she's cool enough shouldered. She's got a nickel more natural mass than the heifer behind her. Maybe not quite as ultra cool out through her neck, but I think just one in terms of her blend and her balance needs to win the class. Young man's got a really cool looking heifer here that I think her better days are behind her. I would suspect that maybe this heifer is fighting the halter just a little bit. She looks really uncomfortable when she gets out and goes. She's just not setting down properly on those rear 2. Young man gets her stopped. He gets her stuck. Man, she's got some cool parts and pieces. And I think that one, just like I said, on down the road is going to be her better days. I think once she gets more comfortable, you're going to really like that one. This yellow heifer, or peach-colored one, I kind of gravitated towards her when she first came in, and I thought, boy, that's a cool-looking one. I like that kind. I like her moderation of body. I like her depth of rib. She's tremendously big-bodied. She, again, is much like the heifer in front of her. She needs to be better when she gets out and goes. She just isn't athletic enough. Watch her on the ground, and she really wants to pop her pastern. That's, to me, is just one of those things that I got to change. The heifer that completes the class, good heifer. Standing still, you like this one a lot. I think that she's just wanting to fight the halter so much. When she gets out and goes, you'll watch her. She gets real elevated in her spine, and she just doesn't seem very comfortable. Again, I need to make her a little more relaxed and get her a little more ring time. I think will be great for that one, because that's a good heifer to complete a class. Give them a good round of applause. Good class.
Congratulations, Class 2, first place, Wilson Smith, breeder Grace Valley Farms. Second place, Travis Brandenburg, breeder Brandenburg Family Farms. Third place, Eliza Smith, breeder Grace Valley Farm. And fourth place, William Birdshaw, breeder Osborne Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 3 breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Boone Burbage, Isaac Birdshaw, Ella Carlier, and Tanner Denton. We need Class 4 breeding heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Caleb Borsman, Kennedy Reynolds, and Lillian Seibert. Class 5 can be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Pierce Durflinger, tag 4432, Elizabeth Hauserman, tag 4478, and Braden Hazelbaker, tag 3888. Please be getting ready in the barn.
Again, not to sound like a broken record, but again, I think a four highly competitive heifer calves in this particular weight division, and I think all the way through, you know, we got some good cattle. The heifer that wins the class, though, does so pretty handily for me, to be honest. I think in just in terms of her blend and her balance, she finds her way up there. She's really, really good when she gets out and goes, so comfortable. I like that about her quite a bit. When you start analyzing the two first and second heifers, this one's better in her hip hip. She's a little wider pin when you get behind her. I think when you get behind her and you look down her top, she's more expressive, yet she's still good necked and good fronted. I think you read her as one that's got a lot of brood cow look to her. Just really like her when she gets out and goes. Young man's got an ultra cool necked one. You know, her spotted color makes her kind of stand out. I like that extra color, but you know, when we could get that heifer, if we could get her a little more comfortable on her tail head, let it sit down in her pins just a little bit nicer, give her just a little more depth of her flank, you know, she matches that first one pretty daggone well. I think it's a good pair to start off with. Young man's heifer, I appreciate the fact that he's hanging in there with her. She's one that's big-bodied. She's probably got as much center dimension to her middle one-third as any. She just gets a little more piecey, if you will. She doesn't blend together quite as well as those first two heifers. She gets a little more awkward when you watch her walk away from you. Wants to get just ever so a little bit bow-legged. We change that about her. Old Millie and this young man here, he gets the cool ear tag award. Got a really neat ear tag there for old Millie. Just a really good heifer that's got a nice look to her, big-bodied. She gets a little more waisty up front. Her neck isn't quite laid in as well as those cattle above her. I like her depth of body. We'd maybe just make her a little sleeker, make her blend in, make her just balance up a little better to compete higher, but really good heifer to complete a nice class. Give them a nice round of applause if you would.
Congratulations, Class 3. First place, Ella Carlier, breeder Carlier Farms. Second place, Isaac Birdshaw, breeder Osborne Farms. Third place, Tanner Denton, breeder Denton Family Farms. And fourth place, Boone Burbage, breeder Mike Borchers. Entering the arena at this time as Class 4 breeding heifers, these exhibitors are Caleb Bromson, Kennedy Reynolds, and Lillian Seibert. We need Class 5 breeding heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Pierce Durflinger, tag 4432, Elizabeth Hauserman, tag 4478, and Braden Hazelbaker, tag 3888. Please be making your way outside the show arena. Class 6 can be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Wade Wilson, Ella Carlier, and Boone Burbage.
get a little bigger weight class of heifers, and I think we got a really nice pair. The young lady with the baldy heifer is going to be our class winner here. I think that one's just one that, you start analyzing them, and she's certainly the one that's certainly the one to act best today, which is giving her an advantage. But if you look at these cattle in terms of their length of side and their length of hip, she's by a long, long way the longest sided, longest hip one. And you know what's kind of that's pretty cool about this heifer is when you get one that's that long-bodied. Honestly, it's that hard to get that much center dimension in them. She's a huge rib. When you get and start studying just the power that she has, and you look at the barrel that she has, man, she's really, really big-barreled. And the other thing, she blends in out of her shoulder pretty good. When they have that much length, she wants to break in her top just a nickel. I can live with that because she's so good when she gets out and goes. She's so comfortable in her spine. She's so comfortable in her leg. I think just in terms of the most complete one, that's her. The next young man's heifer is obviously fighting him a lot. From her shoulder back, I like this one a lot. She's good-bodied. She's one that's got some muscle and shape. I like to set her tail head down in her, make her a little softer out through her pin set. She wants to get just a little bit awkward off those front two, and I'm sure a little bit of that's because she's fighting the halter so bad, but we need to make her just a little more angle to her shoulder. Man, that's a good heifer. Good one that completes the class. She's the most refined one that we have out here. From the looks of her head and her neck, I suspect that she's probably a little bit older than the cattle preceder. She probably doesn't have quite the performance, but big-bodied, one that got some maternal look to her. I think that one will be a nice breeding prospect for the young lady. Give them a good round of applause if you would.
Congratulations, Class 4. First place, Kennedy Reynolds, breeder Dunaway Farms. Second place, Caleb Brosen, breeder Bogey Green Acres. And third place, Lillian Seibert, breeder Maple Ray Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 5 breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Pierce Durflinger, Elizabeth Hauserman, and Braden Hazelbaker. We need Class 6 breeding heifers to be making their way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Wade Wilson, tag 7899, Ella Carlier, tag 4596, and Boone Burbage, tag 3824. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 7 to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Mary Bird, Jack Wilson, and Kaylee Rowell. Please be getting ready in the barn.
think we got a good class of heifers here. The young man's with this silver heifer is going to win our class. I just think there's so much power in this one that she has to win. You know, these cattle, I asked these young exhibitors what age they are. They're pretty similar in terms of their age. She's a lot like the heifer in the last class, and the way she is out of her shoulder into her top line, or top portion of her skeleton, wants to break just a nickel, but that doesn't bother me because she's got so much power and just so big bodied. You know, when you look at her compared to the rest, I mean, it's she's just so big bone and stout featured, but still looks like a female, and I like that. This young lady that's got this orangish, peachish colored heifer, you know, this is the kind that you can build a cow herd on. This is a heifer that's just ultra cool, big body, looks really maternal. You know, you could take this heifer, and this young lady's got the right kind, because that's a longevity kind of a heifer that I like a lot, and I think that she's got a lot of good to her. She's just not quite as powerful built, not quite as stout featured as the one wins the class. Young man that completes the class has got one that's got as much natural thickness up over her top as any. She wants to get a little higher in her loin. She wants to get a little shorter about her neck. And with that, she doesn't get out and go quite as flexible off her rear too as I'd like to see. Certainly a good heifer. Again, give them a good round of applause on a good class.
Congratulations, Class 5. First place, Braden Hazelbaker, Breeder Smith Family Show Cattle. Second place, Elizabeth Hauserman, Breeder Snyder Family Show Cattle. And third place, Pierce Derflinger, Breeder Maple Ray Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 6 breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Wade Wilson, tag 7899, Ella Carlier, tag 4596, and Boone Burbage, tag 3824. We need Class 7 to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Mary Bird, tag 2630, Jack Wilson, tag 4496, and Kaylee Rout, tag 4545. Please be making your way outside the show arena.
We get into these bigger heifers, and a pretty similar age group on this one. We got January to March, but I think we got a really good trio of heifers. The one that wins the class, so honestly, does so pretty handily for me. Again, I like her length aside. I think she's certainly better when we put her in motion. She stays so much sounder in her top line as we watch her go. She just is a little more appropriate the way her tail head sets down and her pin set. She's a little more appropriate in the way she's when you look at her from behind. Just in terms of her maternal look, to me, I think she's a big pelvis one that's going to make a really good cow that's got plenty of depth, really good on the go. I like that one quite a lot. The next heifer, I like her pretty good, standing still again. She's one, if we could maybe change this one, we drop her in her flank. She wants to get pretty uncomfortable and gets real flat in her loin when she gets out, makes her push her pin bones up. She wants to get a little more awkward then in the way she looks out of her hip. I give that one just a nickel more flank to make her balance up a little better to match our first heifer, but I think that's a very good heifer to come in second. This one's kind of what you see is what you get here. The young man with this heifer with the cool ear tag. She's as slick as she can be, really long-sided again. One that's got a real maternal look to her. I think that one's going to be more breeding cow prospect than she is real show heifer because she just doesn't have quite the bells and whistles, honestly, folks. A little coarser about her top, but, you know, got plenty of muscle, plenty of shape, plenty big centered. She needs to just blend all that together in a more attractive package. Really a good heifer to complete a good class. Nice round of applause would be appreciated.
Congratulations, Class 6. First place, Ella Carlier, breeder Hatfield Cattle. Second place, Wade Wilson, breeder Ohio Valley Cattle. And third place, Boone Burbage, breeder Mike Borchers. Entering the arena at this time is Class 7 breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Mary Bird, tag 2630, Jack Wilson, tag 4496, and Kaylee Rout, tag 4545. We need all first and second place winners to be making their way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Class 1, first place, Elizabeth Hauserman, second place, Emma Gibson, Class 2, first place, Wilson Smith, second place, Travis Brandenburg, Class 3, first place, Ella Carlier, second place, Isaac Birdshaw, Class 4, first place, Kennedy Reynolds. Second place, Caleb Brosman. Class 5, first place, Braden Hazelbaker. Second place, Elizabeth Hauserman. And Class 6, first place, Ella Carlier. Second place, Wade Wilson. Please be making your way outside the show arena.
I think we got a real easy place to start here with our red heifer. I think, again, you know, that one just, to me, she just really kind of wins the class pretty handily. She's the one that's got the most balance. She's the one that's most complete. She's the one that's most ladylike, that's still got plenty of muscle and shape to her, just big-bodied and so extremely, again, extremely long-sided. Young man gets her stuck, does a really awesome job. We'll talk about her a little more when we get her out here in division. Or in our champion drive. An interesting pair here in our second and third heifers, and I think there's parts of both of these heifers that we can use They're probably both pushing the condition nickel just a little far. I think they would both be better in a breeding heifer aspect if they were trimmed down just a little bit and had not quite as much bark. This one's better in her front 1/3. She's better in her knee. She's better in her shoulder. I think if we cut that tail head hair off of her, she'd be better out to her hip than she probably looks. She's the one that when we put her in motion, she stays better in her skeleton, quite a bit over her top, though relative to the heifer that completes a class. No doubt this one that completes the class is the biggest butted one, the biggest topped one. She's just coarse for me. Honestly, I like to see them a little more ladylike, and she's just a little bold-shouldered for me. I need to make her set back in her knee. I need to change the angle of her shoulder, make her just better off the go. Really a big-ended one, though, that certainly got her place. Good class. Give them a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 7. First place, Jack Wilson, breeder Hatfield Cattle. Second place, Kaylee Rao, breeder Hatfield Cattle. And third place, Mary Bird, breeder Chase Jarman Show Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is all first place breeding heifers. These exhibitors are Class 1, Elizabeth Hauserman, breeder Snyder Family Show Cattle. Class 2, Wilson Smith, breeder Grace Valley Farms. Class 3, Ella Carlier, breeder Carlier Farms. Class 4, Kennedy Reynolds, breeder Dunaway Farms. Class 5, Braden Hazelbaker, breeder Smith Family Show Cattle. Class 6, Ella Carlier, breeder Hatfield Cattle. And Class 7, Jack Wilson, breeder Hatfield Cattle. We need all second place winners to be outside the arena and all third place winners to be on standby in the barn. When you're taking pictures tonight at the backdrop, please thank Pride Hill Farm and Garden Center for donating the flowers.
Well, before we pick your champion and your top 5 here in your breeding heifer show, please join me in giving these exhibitors and the breeders of these cattle a really big round of applause. outstanding lineup for your county born. I think we started with a really nice class of young heifers that, we start talking about these first couple classes relative to the ones that are on back from them. I think these cattle are good. I think they just are very green and they're very immature probably. And their body type and kind, and that's sure to be understood because of their suspected age. The gray heifer that won that first class, I thought she was big bodied and probably the best necked one in there. She was by far the soundest one when we put her in motion, and I think when we get these cattle out here, I think that's the one really big similarity that we see, that they're all good at the ground and they're all very they're all cattle that can get around a motor, and I like that quite a bit. The blue roan heifer in that particular class, I just liked her blend and her moderation in size. I thought if you remember, there was a heifer that was behind her that was just a nickel bigger. Then we had one that was a little more like her type, but wasn't quite as good at the ground. This blue one, though, is just one that balances up really good. I think her best days are ahead of her. She sets really good in her angles. She gets out and goes with plenty of authority, plenty of flexibility. The heifer behind her is one from her shoulder back. You like her quite a bit. She's, again, the one in that particular class that could just get out and go. She stayed better in her top line. She was a longer, neater necked one and just really stayed cool in that aspect. When we get her out here and we analyze her compared to the ones on either side of her, she probably doesn't set quite as good in her shoulder, probably not quite as good in her knee. But I think one that's sure going to be a nice big heifer down the road. This brockle-faced one's intriguing to me, and I thought that was a good class. But this one, she's got a nickel extra length aside and a little extra length of her hip, probably relative to her size. She's as long-bodied as any. When you get out and you start studying her and you want to pick her apart, maybe she's a little coarser over the top of her blade. Maybe she doesn't blend right into the first part of her skeleton quite as well. Those are things that I can live with because she's so ultra cool when she gets out and goes. I think she's got to be in the hunt just because of the way she's made. The outlier is our smoke heifer. She's the one that's just a little bolder, bigger sprung. She's a little shorter bodied. She's a little more moderate in her build, if you will. She's the biggest bone, stoutest one out here. She, again, too, wants to break in her top ever so slightly. She wants to get just a little soft right behind her shoulder as you look at her there through the first portion of her spine. We'd change that about her. She's not quite as unique necked as maybe a couple of the other ones, but still a real brood cow looking. And, again, I think one you got to give a look to. This black white-bellied heifer is intriguing to me. I think that when you get them out here and you let them, if you turn that one loose, she's by far the most athletic, sound-built one out here. She's not perfect either, but boy, when you get behind her, I like her extra pin width. I like her extra maternal look. Again, really long-sided. She's a lot like that brockle heifer up a couple ahead of her, but just really cool. Not the craziest, goofy, long-necked one, but sure, plenty good enough. She, for me, is one that I like so well from her forerib back to her flank. Just really balanced, just blends in good. This stage of her life, she's real maternal looking, still real fresh. The young man brings us a dark roan heifer, a dark red heifer that just is, he's got a show heifer here. Standing still, he gets her parked. She gets a little soft in her top. I guess if you want to get real nitpicky on this heifer, she's about a hoof short when she gets out and goes as far as hitting stride for stride. It's probably because she's a little rib longer than some of the others, but I think a good class of heifers. I think that one's certainly in contention. I'll get you a top 5. Been a pleasure. Give them a big round of applause to them and to the breeders of these cattle.
Congratulations, Grand Champion, County Born and Raised Breeding Heifer, Ella Carlier, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 6 second place, Wade Wilson. Congratulations, Reserve Champion, County Born and Raised Breeding Heifer, Jack Wilson, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 7 second place, Kaylee Rout. Congratulations, third overall county born and raised breeding heifer, Kennedy Reynolds, breeder Dunaway Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 4 second place, Caleb Brosman. Congratulations, fourth overall, Braden Hazelbaker, breeder Smith Family Show Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 5 second place, Elizabeth Hauserman. We need Class 8 feeder heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Brady Young, tag 2600, and Braden Hazelbaker, tag 2566. Please be making your way outside the show arena. Congratulations, fifth overall breeding heifer, Caleb Brosman, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Again, we need Class 8 feeder heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Brady Young, tag 2600, and Braden Hazelbaker, tag 2566. We need Class 9 feeder heifers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Eli Jarman, tag 2574, Bentley Snyder, tag 2550, and Clint Dollemeyer, tag 2856. Please be getting ready in the barn. Entering the arena at this time is Class 8 feeder heifers. These exhibitors are Brady Young and Braden Hazelbaker. We need Class 9 feeder heifers to be getting ready, making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Eli Jarman, tag 2574, Bentley Snyder, tag 2550, and Clint Dollemeyer, tag 2856. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 10 to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Noah Bromson, tag 2609, and Jack Wilson, tag 2602. Please be getting ready in the barn.
Good class to get started here in our feeder heifers. I think one that fits together pretty easily. Our black heifer is the one that's just it looks like in terms of her growth curve is going to be probably the one that's going to be more in that range when she gets terminal. But you take that into just one little aspect. She's a bigger hip, bigger muscled one that still gets out and goes. Really big body, blends in quite well. The smoke heifer's got a lot of muscle. She's got a lot of shape. She's a little quicker maturing one that looks to me like that's going to have a little more hard time getting up to that ideal weight as we talk on down the road as a market heifer. But sure do appreciate her in terms of her muscle shape, her big, she's got plenty of body, and just we need to get her off the ground just a little bit. Good pair. Give them a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 8. First place, Braden Hazelbaker, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Second place, Brady Young, breeder Young Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 9. These exhibitors are Eli Jarman, Bentley Snyder, and Clint Dollemeyer. We need Class 10 feeder heifers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Noah Bromson, tag 2609, and Jack Wilson, tag 2602.
I think a nice class. We're going to leave these three just like they came in. I think that's how they sort. For me, they sort pretty easily. this black and white heifer that wins the class, I think just really handles it with quite a bit of authority. I think that just in terms of her overall balance and her build, she gets her up there. Then we put her in motion, and we like her even more. Just one that I think has got an awfully lot of bright future to her. Heifer that's most like her in types and kind in terms of her structural build is our black heifer. She's a really wide base one when you get behind her. She's square out through her hip. That's where she excels the heifer in third. When you look at her out through her pin set and from her hooks to her pins, she's just a bit more appropriate in that regard. Our young man silver heifer that completes the class. This is probably going to be the worst that this heifer looks this week. I think she's just wanting to fight the halter so bad. I'm glad you got her out here because that's going to help you on the next couple of days of showing her, because she is big-bodied. She's got some muscle. She's got some shape. She's just not wanting to present herself very well. Wants to get down in her pin set, pick her loin up a little bit, makes her not quite as attractive, but a good heifer completes a very good class. Give him a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 9. First place, Eli Jarman, breeder Talby Family Farm. Second place, Bentley Snyder, breeder Snyder Family Show Cattle. And third place, Clint Dollemeyer, breeder Creekview Farm. Entering the arena at this time is Class 10. These exhibitors are Noah Bromson and Jack Wilson. We need first and second place winners from Class 8 to be making their way outside the show arena. We need first, second, and third place winners from Class 9 to also be making their way outside the show arena.
Small class but high quality one here in this pair of heifers. Quite a bit of difference in them. I think when you start to analyze them, especially when they're on the side profile, to me I like the moderation in frame and just the moderation in build in the heifer that wins the first class, or wins the class. She's extremely deep bodied, big hip, still pretty neat necked and got some look to her. She's a little better under her forerib, and you get back and follow her through her flank. She's certainly a deeper flanked one that looks like, just in terms of a feeder heifer, really surfaces to the top, and just in terms of her power and her build. The next one's a little more awkward in her skeleton. She wants to get a little higher in her top. The young man does a nice job, so obviously he sees that. When he gets her top down, and I think when she gets relaxed, she makes her look quite a bit better. But, relative to the heifer that wins the class, we just need to give her middle just more shape and more dimension to her rib shape. She needs to be deeper flank, but it's really a good heifer to be second and a nice pair here in that particular class. Give those two young fellas a good round of applause. Good class.
Congratulations, Class 10. First place, Jack Wilson, breeder Hatfield Cattle. Second place, Noah Bromson, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Entering the arena at this time is all first place feeder heifers. These exhibitors are Class 8, Braden Hatfield, Class 9, Eli Jarman, and Class 10, Jack Wilson.
I think we got a nice trio of class winners out here in our top 5 in our feeder heifer show. Obviously, not the quantity that we had here in our breeding heifer show, but I think when we get these 3 class winners out and then we bring the respective seconds back in, I think there's some really high quality heifers here. Just to kind of compare them, if you will, we got enough time, I think. The heifer that wins that first class as we crawl, she was the one that just was a bigger centered bodied one, a heifer that just had a lot of natural shape and muscle. She still was, in terms of her moderation of frame, she is moderate. She's quite a bit larger in terms of her frame size than the heifer that came in second in that particular class. But I like this heifer and just her build. I think she's going to be really good, and I think as far as a market prospect, I think she's got a real bright future. The black and white heifer is one that obviously catches your eye because of her color, her quality, keeps it though. This is kind of an interesting heifer. I think she's pretty versatile because she looks like one that could go on and be a market kind of a heifer. She's also got a breeding cattle build though because her joint work is so good. She's really, really angular to her shoulder. She's a little deceiving because she's so ladylike up through her front 1/3. You get right on top of her and you study out through her hip and through her loin. Just extremely explosive, and I like that. She's got plenty of muscle when you get behind her and you follow her down through her twist and her quarter and her stifle. Just one that I really gravitate quite a lot. I like her extremely well when she gets out and goes. Young man that had that last class winner, again, she's one that's quite a bit like the heifer in front of her in terms of her build. She's not quite as neat about her hip. She's not quite as neat out through her tail head. Maybe not quite as comfortable on her rear too, but that's being awfully picky on a really good heifer that I think stands a lot of competition. I'll go show you a top 5. Give again the breeders and the exhibitors of these cattle here for a county born show. Extremely high praise, good set. I'll show you my top 5. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Grand Champion County Born and Raised feeder heifer Eli Jarman, breeder Talby Family Farm. Entering the arena at this time is Class 9, second place, Bentley Snyder. Congratulations, reserve champion feeder heifer Jack Wilson, breeder Hatfield Cattle. We need Class 10, second place, Noah Bromson, to be entering the arena. Congratulations, third overall feeder heifer Noah Bromson, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Congratulations, fourth overall feeder heifer Braden Hazelbaker, breeder Bogey Green Acres. We need Class 8 second place Brady Young to be entering the arena. Congratulations, fifth overall feeder heifer Bentley Snyder. We need Class 11 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Tucker Denton, tag 2560, Noel Beckman, tag 2612, Tegan Tislin, tag 2548, and Kylie Bosom, tag 2599. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 12 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Eve Hollander, tag 2629, Eli Jarman, tag 2474, Olivia Havarilla, tag 2859, and Ella Carlier, tag 2582. Please be getting ready in the barn. Entering the arena at this time is Class 11 feeder steers. These exhibitors are Tucker Denton, Noel Beckman, Tegan Tislin, and Kylie Bosom. We need Class 12 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Eve Hollander, tag 2629, Eli Jarman, tag 2474, Olivia Havarilla, tag 2859, and Ella Carlier, tag 2582. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 13 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Braden O'Hearn, tag 2584, Aubrey Lorenzen, tag 2567, Mason Cox, tag 2606, Alex Bosom, tag 2448, and Riley Gragg, tag 2546.
I think a good class as we start into our feeder steers, and one that's kind of interesting. There's some give and take in this particular class. To me, the one that's probably the most fault-free and one that's going to be the one that's going to be the easiest one to feed is this little stripe-faced one. I think he's just more balanced. I think he's certainly better in his shoulder. If you look at this second one, he wants to get just pretty erect in the way his shoulder comes out. He wants to almost tip over in his knee already. So I think in terms of his structure, the one that wins the class does so from that standpoint alone. He's a big topped. He's actually got more shape. He's got more natural dimension to his top. He's not quite as laid in and his pin set as neatly as the one behind him. But I think just in terms of structure, and we talk about these cattle on down the road, he's the one that has to win the class. And I'm going to say this one's got the real look. I mean, he's got a lot of eye appeal. For me, it just needs to be changed in his structure, especially off his front too. And as I commented on him there earlier, he needs to be laid in better about his shoulder. He needs to be more laid in about his knee. I just think that'll be a problem for him as he goes on and matures. Our red and white steers one that's a lot like that calf. He is a little better in his shoulder. He's a little better in his knee. He doesn't have the muscle shape of the one that precedes him or the one that wins the class. He needs to be neater in his undercarriage from his foreflank back. I think we like him quite a bit better than. Calf that completes the class is one. It's got some look to him. He needs to be better in his forerib. He comes out of his shoulder, gets pretty pinched in his heart. We need to just make him blend and moderate him there to make him a more balanced product. But a good calf, I think, will be a nice feeding one. Give him a good round of applause here in our first class of feeders.
Congratulations, Class 11. First place, Noel Beckman, Breeder Talby Family Farm. Second place, Tegan Tislin, Breeder Tislin Farms. Third place, Kylie Bosom, breeder Little Ridge Acres. And fourth place, Tucker Denton, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Entering the arena at this time is Class 12 feeder steers. These exhibitors are Eve Hollander, tag 2629, Eli Jarman, tag 2474, Olivia Havarilla, tag 2859, and Ella Carlier, tag 2582. We need Class 13 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Braden O'Hearn, tag 2584, Aubrey Lorenzen, tag 2567, Mason Cox, tag 2606, Alex Bosom, tag 2448, and Riley Gregg, tag 2546. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 14 to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Ty Young, Tanner Perrin, Mason Cox, and Braden O'Hearn. The Cattlemen's Association has shirts for sale by the picture drop.
Here in our second class, and I think one that comes together pretty easily, at least for me. I think the steer that wins the class just puts the most together. He's a calf. When you get in front of him, he's got more base width in terms of his chest width, and you get behind him, he's extremely expressive in his muscle shape, big topped, and got plenty of muscle down low when you study him out through his stifle and his quarter. I think, though, where he really excels the class, you put that one in motion. That one's extremely good at the ground, and one that I think is going to make an outstanding feeding project as we analyze him in his future. The next calf's the one that follows him most likely in type. He's, as I said, a little narrower chested. He doesn't have quite the base width as the one that wins the class, nor does he have quite the depth from foreflank to rear flank. But, you know, he's got a nice look. He's got a good, a really good look from the side. We change him there to get him up over the calf that wins the class. The next two steers are real plain and basic in their type and kind, but they're cattle that are pretty good in their structure. The Hereford appearing steer just needs more muscle. He needs more shape. He needs to be a little more relaxed in his top line to move him up. Good class of steers here to keep on rolling with. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Class 12. First place, Eli Jarman, breeder Jarman Cattle Company. Second place, Ella Carlier, breeder Osborne Farms. Third place, Eve Hollander, breeder Maple Ray Farms. And fourth place, Olivia Havarilla, breeder Ohio Valley Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 13, Braden O'Hearn, Aubrey Lorenzen, Mason Cox, Alex Bosom, and Riley Gregg. We need Class 14 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Ty Young, tag 2640, Tanner Perrin, tag 2643, Mason Cox, tag 2540, and Braden O'Hearn, tag 2576. We need Class 15 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Kaylee Rowell, Lillian Lane, and Kennedy Reynolds.
probably the most challenging class that we've had to sort today, and I think, and there's reasons. One reason is the cattle are pretty good. And number two, there's not one that just really I gravitate to. Honestly, I think if we could take all 5 of these cattle and maybe put them in one big mixing bowl, and I think we could come out with one that we'd like quite a lot. This one is a project, I think, that you just got to really, really read between the lines because, does he look ideal today? Probably not. And I think that's because he's got such a big hip and he's wide topped that he pushes his shoulder forward just a little bit. It makes him break in his stop just a little bit, and he doesn't look quite as good in his forerib. You put that one in motion, he wins the class easily, though, because he's the soundest built, best structured one by a good ways when we put him in motion. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that those things are going to kind of come together. And I just think in terms of structure, he wins the class. The Blue Roan one is the one that's nicely presented. The young lady gets it all she can get out of him. To me, this one just needs change in his structure. He's off in his front end. He wants to get too straight and too upright in his shoulder. He wants to almost push out in his knee. I'd like to change him in his hip. He's going to get pretty round, I feel like, because he's pin set pretty low in him. We could change that about him. He's even a little tougher one here in this class. It's a good calf. This third one's kind of a plain Jane, kind of a steer that he's going to be an easy feeding one, kind of an old down-headed dude that's big-bodied. He wants to get kind of narrow. As you watch him walk away from you, he needs a nickel more shape. The next one is one that I think has got some good parts and pieces. He gets upright in his skeleton when he goes. I need to change him off his rear too. The calf that completes the class, big-bodied, got some muscle, got some shape, wants to just get a nickel outside of his skeleton when he walks away from you. We change him in that regard. Good class, really a competitive one. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Class 13. First place, Alex Bosom, breeder Little Ridge Acres. Second place, Riley Gregg, breeder Osborne Farms. Third place, Aubrey Lorenzen, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Fourth place, Mason Cox, breeder Mason Cox. And fifth place, Braden O'Hearn, breeder Kirk Farm. Entering the arena at this time is Class 14. These exhibitors are Ty Young, Tanner Perrin, Mason Cox, and Braden O'Hearn. We need Class 15 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Kaylee Rout, tag 2625, Lillian Lane, tag 2627, and Kennedy Reynolds, tag 2621. We need Class 16 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Briley Kirk, Easton Jennings, Walker Denton, and Jenna Cox.
Again, another competitive class and a lot of interesting things in this class. A pretty easy place for me to start, though, and the peach-colored calf. He's one that just looks like he's a show steer already, presented really well, shown really well. But then you go past that, he's calf that just, you like his build, you like his muscle, you like his moderation. You still think he's going to be a big enough one when you go on down the road. Just one that just puts it all together pretty easily for me here in this particular class. I think that you got to look pretty hard to pick that one apart too bad. This one here is he finds his way in a second because he is fighting the halter like probably as bad as any we had here today. And I tell you what, I kept thinking in my mind. I thought if we put these last three out in the lot, took their halters off, which one would I like the best? And I think that's pretty easy because that one's one really big muscled, big bodied, tremendously big top. You know, I think he just wants to fight the halter so bad today. He's not giving us a very good look. The next one, we could get him a little wider base from behind. We'd like that one quite a bit better. He's got some shape. He's got some body. Just gets pretty narrow when you watch him walk away from you. Steer completes the class. Shoulder back, I like him. He wants to get pretty again. He wants to get pretty straight in his shoulder. Wants to pick his top up and not look so comfortable when he gets out in motion. Good calf to complete a good class.
Congratulations, Class 14. First place, Tanner Perrin, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Second place, Ty Young, breeder Young Cattle. Third place, Braden O'Hearn, breeder Kirk Farms. And fourth place, Mason Cox, breeder Mason Cox. Entering the arena at this time is Class 15 feeder steers. These exhibitors are Kaylee Rao, Lillian Lane, and Kennedy Reynolds. We need Class 16 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Briley Kirk, tag 2470, Easton Jennings, tag 2861, Walker Denton, tag 2545, and Jenna Cox, tag 2468. Please be making your way outside the show arena. We need Class 17 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Sadie Wolfer, Braden Hatfield, Mary Bird, Braden Hatfield.
Good class of competitive calves. I think we get one that fits the top hole pretty easily again in this class. Again, the one that just has got the most balance, the most eye appeal, the one that puts the most good qualities together, I think, in a package. He surfaces pretty handily to me in this particular trio. This young lady steer that comes out next, I think, is going to be a real basically easy feeding one. She gets him parked. You like him quite well because he's really level in his undercarriage. I like how deep he is all the way through. He's good out of his hip. He's not quite as just massive and masculine as the one that wins the class, but I feel like in terms of his structural soundness, he needs to find that second hole. This is going to be a good feeding one here, I think, that completes the class. I think he's pretty basic in his build. He's the flattest muscled one when you get behind him and you study him out through his stifle and his quarter. He just needs more shape. He needs more muscle. I think he's good, pretty good at the ground. He's solid when he gets out and goes. He's got some flexibility. I think time on feed will help that one quite a lot because his structure is pretty good. Good class, probably as competitive all the way through again as we've had in a bit.
Congratulations, Class 15. First place, Lillian Lane, breeder Bogey Green Acres. Second place, Kaylee Rout, breeder Kirk Farms. And third place, Kennedy Reynolds, breeder Dunaway Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 16, Braylee Kirk, tag 2470. Easton Jennings, tag 2861. Walker Denton, tag 2545, and Jenna Cox, tag 2468. We need Class 17 to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Sadie Wolfer, tag 2587, Braden Hatfield, tag 2634, Mary Bird, tag 2558, and Braden Hatfield, tag 2456. We need Class 18 to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Tanner Perrin, Tucker Denton, and Aubrey Hatfield.
Had to study them a little extra long on this one and have them parade around again. I'm going to leave them the way they came in the ring. I think it's a close placing here on our top pair and then on our bottom pair. But I think the steer that wins the class, as I talked about him being structurally sound all day, I got to stick with my guns on that because he is quite a bit better at the ground when you watch him get out and go. He's one that I feel like's got more longevity in him in terms of going on and making a market steer. He's just really, really complete. He's a deeper bodied one. He's probably a nickel quicker than the one that stands behind him. He's certainly better when you get him down at the ground, though, and you look at him in his joint work. He's better in his ankle and his pastern. I just like that one quite a bit from that standpoint. Put that together with he does have enough muscle and enough shape and enough feed quality that I just think that he has to get to the top. From the shoulder back, I like this one quite a bit. We need to make him softer on the go. We need to make him come out of his pastern, set down at the ground a little more softer. I think maybe as the fair goes on and he gets out here a couple more times, that might come together for this calf because he's got a good look. He's extremely long about his neck, and he does have some muscle and some shape. Good pair here on that complete the class. I felt like this black steer just had a nickel more shape, especially over his top and down low through his stifle. Then our black and white steer, our gray and white steer, blue and white steer, what color you want to call him, is a good calf, and I think he's got really, really good in his lines. He's the one, though, of this quartet of calves, just needs more power. He needs more muscle down low. He needs more muscle up top to compete in this particular class. Good class all the way through. Give him a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 16. First place, Braley Kirk, Breeder Kirk Farms. Second place, Easton Jennings, Breeder Talby Family Farms. Third place, Walker Denton, Breeder Bogey Green Acres. And fourth place, Jenna Cox, Breeder Kenny Wood. Entering the arena at this time is Class 17 feeder Huskiers. These exhibitors are Sadie Wolfer, Braden Hatfield, Mary Bird, Braden Hatfield. We need Class 18 feeder steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Tanner Perrin, tag 2555, Tucker Denton, tag 2588, and Aubrey Hatfield, tag 2556. We need Class 19 feeder steers to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Aubrey Hatfield, Emma Gibson, and Travis Brandenburg.
Good class. Quite a bit of differences in these four, but really an outstanding pair here in our top end, and some differences in these two. I really like the look of this black brockle face one. I think he's just got a real cool show steer look. He's a little more moderate in his build than maybe the one behind him. I think he's got plenty of everything. I think when he goes, he gets down. Every once in a while, he wants to just really set his pastern or his foot down and kind of pop. Not he doesn't click his pastern. He just really locks it into place. That's not a bad thing. I think he's still really sound. He's good-footed, good-boned. Just got a really exceptionally good fat steer look to me, and I just think that he blends in so well. The next one's got as much shape as any. Man, that one's dialed in today. He's a good calf. He wants to get just a little bit. He's so relaxed out here. Wants to get just a little harder in his top. He's not quite as cool-necked as the one that precedes him, but I think that's one that sure is going to be something to reckon with on down the road because he's got so much power. Really a good built one that you like a lot. Real basic steer here that comes in third, and you know, folks, in another class, he's probably fighting for a top hole because his build is extremely good. He's a little flatter muscled than the other ones. He doesn't have quite the bells and whistles of the first two, but in terms of his structure and the way he's put together, I think he's just a really good calf that'll make an outstanding fat steer. The young lady slick one that goes out completes the class. Hey, this is a good feeding one too because he's got muscle. He's long-sided. He's long-bodied. He's another calf that's pretty good when you put him in motion. He just runs into a buzzsaw of a class, honestly. I think that's a good calf that's sure going to be a good terminal one. Nice class, real high quality on the top end. Give him a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 17. First place, Braden Hatfield, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Second place, Braden Hatfield, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Third place, Mary Bird, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. And fourth place, Sadie Wolfer, Breeder Wolfer Family Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 18 feeder steers. These exhibitors are Tanner Perrin, Tucker Denton, and Aubrey Hatfield. We need Class 19 feeder steers to be making their way up to the arena at this time. These exhibitors are Aubrey Hatfield, tag 2472, Emma Gibson, tag 2562, and Travis Brandenburg, tag 2570.
Get into some of these little bigger ones, and again, a really good class. A good pair here on our top end, and a nice steer here to complete the class. But a nice, the smoke steer just has got the more power. He's the one, again, that blends in quite a bit better. I think when you get him out in motion, he's the one that's more comfortable in his joint. He's more comfortable in the way he comes off his rear, too. You put that together, it's better in his fore rib. He's just got more muscle, more shape, just more bloom today. I think that just an extremely well-presented one that's just got that extra notch of power. Young man's calf standing still, I like a lot. He's greener in his type and kind. He doesn't have quite the hair coat the one that wins the class does. But, boy, this is a big-hipped one that's structurally pretty good. especially when he's standing still. Comes out of his shoulder real high. I'd like to change him when he gets out and goes to make him just a little softer and a little sounder off those rear two. But I feel like probably early in the fair is probably going to help this one on down the road. Just getting some ring time. Steer completes the class, one that's pretty good. He's got some muscle. He's got some shape over his top. Relative to the two ahead of him, though, doesn't have near enough down low when you get to start studying him out through his stifle and his quarter. Good calf to complete a good class. Give him a good round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 18. First place, Aubrey Hatfield, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Second place, Tanner Perrin, Breeder Chase Jarman Show Cattle. And third place, Tucker Denton, Breeder Bogey Green Acres. And at the conclusion of the final drive feeder steers, we will be having all Cattlemen exhibitors meet in the middle of the show arena for your gifts. Entering the arena at this time is Class 19 feeder steers. These exhibitors are Aubrey Hatfield, Emma Gibson, and Travis Brandenburg. We need all first and second place winners from classes 11 through 18 to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Class 11, first place, Noelle Beckman, second place, Tegan Tislin, Class 12, first place, Eli Jarman, second place, Ella Carlier, Class 13, first place, Alex Bosom, second place, Riley Gregg, Class 14, first place, Tanner Perrin, second place, Ty Young, Class 15, first place, Lillian Lane, second place, Kaylee Rout, Class 16, first place, Braylee Kirk, second place, Easton Jennings, Class 17, first place, Braden Hatfield, second place, Braden Hatfield, and Class 18, first place, Aubrey Hatfield, second place, Tanner Perrin. Please be making your way outside the show arena.
Got a good class here to complete our feeder calf show with, and I think again one that for me surfaces to the top pretty easily. I like this one's build. I think in terms of his weight, his maturity, he fits the mold pretty well. Get him in motion again. That dude just gets out and moves like a cat. I like that quite a bit about him. get him stopped and get him parked. The young lady gets him presented extremely well, and he's just so big hipped and square topped. I like that one a bunch. Sure, we'll talk about him some more in our champion drive. Interesting pair here in 2 and 3. I think both of these are good cattle. To me, I like the build of the one in second just a nickel better. He's not quite as round, if you will, in his proportions. He's really jacked up neck. He comes out of the top side of his shoulder really well. He looks like one that'll just be a really good feeding one that's got nice look. He wins the class in a lot of the shows today, or in a lot of the classes. Just ran into a really good one. This last one, no denying, he's a huge-bodied, big-muscled one. For me, I'd like to just give him a little more relaxation to his shoulder, just put him together a little more better. He gets just a little nickel round for me. There's a lot of power in that one, no doubt. Certainly got his place. One that will be an easy feeding one. I'll certainly bet on that. Good class, really a good trio of steers all the way through. Give them a good round of applause.
Entering the arena at this time is all first place winners from classes 11 through 19. These exhibitors are Class 11, Noel Beckman, Class 12, Eli Jarman, Class 13, Alex Bosom, Class 14, Tanner Perrin, Class 15, Lillian Lane, Class 16, Braylee Kirk, Class 17, Braden Hatfield, Class 18, Aubrey Hatfield, and Class 19, Aubrey Hatfield. Just a reminder, at the conclusion of the final drive for feeder steers, we need all county born and raised exhibitors to meet in the arena.
really a good feeder calf show, and even to be more proud of it, to be county born. So you guys that are raising these things are doing something right. I commend you on that. Please give those breeders that had cattle here today a really nice round of applause. I know if you're following the market, the beef cattle industry, we're doing some pretty big things right now. Cattle, and even if you're not, when you go to the grocery store, I'm sure that you're aware that the price of beef has went up significantly. But you know, with that, it's about time that guys that raise livestock get rewarded for what they do, because we've kind of been the one that's suffered a little bit in the agricultural world the last decade. So we appreciate finally getting our own. When we get these cattle out here, and I'm not going to try to bore you, but I do feel it necessary to kind of comment on a few of them, and that way you kind of see where I'm coming from. At first class, I thought that was a good calf that was just pretty moderate in his build, but I thought he was the one structurally needed to be there. The calf in the second class, as I commented, I think that one won that class pretty easily. I like that one's build quite a lot. He gets out and goes. He's as good structurally as any that we have out here. Certainly greener in his type and kind, and on down the road is going to be his day. That third class was a little struggle for me because, as you can remember, if you remember along with me, this was the one that I just said you kind of got to read between the lines a little bit. You hope that things come together, but I was sure of one thing, and that was when you put that one in motion, he was the soundest structured in that class. Then we get to that peach one, and then we started our show steers. That one's just got an impeccably good build, I think. You know, and when you look at that one, you say, oh, he's a daggone good feeder calf. He's really square in his build. I think that one's going to make a cool fat because he's designed so good through his neck and his shoulder. His chest is really, really good. He's wide enough chested to be a good fat, yet still cool enough to keep his chest in him when he goes on and gets to be a fat steer. Again, really good, gets out and goes around the ring quite a bit, really sound on the go. I like that one a lot. Then the one behind him, he won his class easily. He get that one on a standstill, boy, he paints a great picture, just really structurally good. When he gets away from you and he gets to walking, if you want to get real nitpicky on one, he gets almost outside of himself once in a while. I think that's just a little bit of thing, being nervous or what have you, because that's a daggone good calf that's built really square and just cool neck, comes out of the top side of his shoulder extremely well. The next class was one of those classes that we didn't have one that you just kind of grabbed you, but they were all good quality calves. And I think when you get this one out here, if you're looking for one that's going to be a really good fat steer, that's just kind of what he is what you get. That calf is so good. He's long-bodied, really good hipped. He's deep-flanked. I love his undercarriage so much. The Brockle Face is another one that's got this show steer look. Boy, he gets out here. He's just cool-looking. Wants to get a little relaxed in his top sometime. He's not the most powerfully constructed when you can get behind him. Sure got enough muscle, though. He's sure in the contention just because he's so cool. Then our Smoky one, you know, that one probably is much natural thickness as any. You know, if we want to get nitpicky on him, maybe we change him in his pen set just a little bit. But I think that one, in terms of his power and his build, you sure got to like him because he's got just a really cool look, really level in his lines, and just good belt. Then that last one, his claim to fame is that he's as sound as any out here. When he gets out and goes, that dude just flat motors around. I like that one quite a lot. Also, you know, for a calf that's a little more mature and whatnot, he's still very youthful in his look. Good class, good group of cattle, really a good group of exhibitors. Be a pleasure to sort through the top five. I think there's quite a few different ways you could go in this top five because I think the quality's that good. Give them another big round of applause. I'll show you how I sort them today. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Grand Champion Feeder Steer Tanner Perrin, Breeder Bogey Green Acres. We need Class 14 second place Ty Young to be entering the arena. Third place Braden O'Hearn, please be making your way outside the show arena. Congratulations, reserve champion Aubrey Hatfield, breeder Hatfield Cattle. We need second place, Tanner Parendy, making his way outside the show arena, or inside the show arena. Congratulations, third overall, Braden Hatfield. Entering the arena at this time is Class 17, second place, Braden Hatfield. Congratulations, fourth overall, feeder steer Lillian Lane. Entering the show arena at this time is Class 15, second place, Kaylee Rout. Congratulations, fifth overall feeder steer, Braden Hatfield, breeder Hatfield Cattle. Once all cattle have exited the arena, we need all county-born and raised exhibitors to be making their way into the show arena.
Good evening, everybody. This year, thanks to all of our sponsors, we were able to give the kids a wireless speaker and also a $25 gift certificate to the Weaver booth. They have to have those and present them at the booth to be able to use them so kids don't lose them. But we would just want to thank all of our sponsors for everything that they've done. And also a big thanks to all the members of the Clermont County Cattlemen's Association for the time and effort that they put in every year for these kids. Give these kids a round of applause. They've done a great job, and we're so glad our sponsors have helped give them these gifts. Thank you all. Okay, everybody. Again, thanks to our wonderful sponsors, we were able to get 2 Pro Air Flexes and a Weaver fan that we are going to raffle off for the kids tonight. We're going to have the lovely Tina pull a name. And the winner of the first Pro Air Flex is Noah Brosman. What are you doing? Okay, we're going to draw for the second blower here. And the winner is his brother, Caleb Brosman. Lucky family. Okay, and lastly, we are going to draw for the fan. And the winner is Tanner Perrin. Hey, unlock your phone again. Jack Wilson just came in the ring for his gift. Okay, kids, don't leave. After we do the gun drawing, we are going to get a picture with everybody. But now we are going to go ahead and do the gun raffle. This is the Savage Axis 420 gauge. And the winner is Jay Carter. All right, now we're going to get our picture. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for making all of this possible for these kids. Thank you for everything, and a great job, kids.
Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors for making this happen. We need Class 20 market steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Ian McClanahan and Henry Gray. We need Class 21 market steers to also be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Hunter Carlier, tag 4473, Clint Dollemeyer, tag 4444, and Braden O'Hearn, tag 4516. We need Class 22 to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Riley Gregg, William Birchall, and Wyatt Wolfer. Entering the arena at this time is Class 20 market steers. These exhibitors are Ian McClanahan and Henry Gray. We need Class 21 market steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Hunter Carlier, Clint Dollemeyer, and Braden O'Hearn. Class 22 market steers need to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Riley Gregg, tag 4398, William Birdshaw, tag 4435, and Wyatt Wolford, tag 4401. Please be getting ready in the barn.
We get started here on our county born steers. Nice pair of steers, I think, in terms of condition and cutability. The Santa Gertrude steer, appearing steer, is the one that is going to fit the mold today. Really good structured one, though. You know, we talked about our feeder cattle having good structure, and this guy does. I'm not going to say that he's actually ready to go hang on the rail today, but I think he's got enough cover to win this class. And just in terms of his makeup and his build, he wins the class. Young man steer here weighing 1,000, just a shade over 1,000. It's a good calf. He's another one that's nice in his lines. He needs more muscle. He needs more time on the feed to get him up higher today. Good pair to start off our county born steers.
Congratulations, Class 20, first place, Henry Gray. Second, Breeder Gray Family Farms. Second place, Ian McClanahan, Breeder McClanahan Ranch. Entering the arena at this time is Class 21 market steers. These exhibitors are Hunter Collier, Clint Dollemeyer, and Braden O'Hearn. We need Class 22 market steers to be making their way outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Riley Gregg, William Birdshaw, and Wyatt Wolfer. Please be making your way outside the show arena. Braden O'Hearn, please be making your way inside the show arena. We need first and second place winners for Class 20 to also be outside the show arena at this time for the final drive. These exhibitors are first place Henry Gray, second place Ian McClanahan.
I think we got a nice trio of steers here, and for me, a pretty logical one to start with. In our steer, the young man has here in the red brockle face, when he's one that puts the most together. To me, he's the one that's got the most eye appeal. He's the one that's got the most product in him. He's the one that's got the best fault-free in terms of his structure and just balance. And then when you get your hands on him, he's fresh when you handle him. He's covered pretty daggone well, and just a steer that, for me, finds that top hole pretty handily. This next steer's one that's much like him. He's designed really, really well. He's a nickel bigger in his frame size, obviously. And I think maybe that one needs just a nickel more cover to get him up to grade, maybe as good as the one that wins the class. But in terms of his build, he just finds that second hole pretty handily. The fattest one of the trio is this black steer. With me, he just needs to be structurally better. As I talked about all day, I like him to be structurally sound. And when that one just gets out and goes, we need to just change him in that. He's pretty awkward off of both ends. But one that's big-bodied and big-barreled and got plenty of cover, one that'll hang a good carcass. Nice class.
Congratulations, Class 21. First place, Hunter Collier, Breeder Collier Farms. Second place, Clint Dollemeyer, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Third place, Braden O'Hearn, Breeder Hatfield Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 22. These exhibitors are Riley Gregg, William Birdshaw, and Wyatt Woofer. We need first and second place winners from Class 20 and 21 to be outside the show arena. These exhibitors are Class 20, first place Henry Gray, second place Ian McClanahan. Class 21, first place Hunter Collier, second place Clint Dollemeyer.
I think with the last class of our steers, and there are steers that are over 1,400, and that's an acceptable thing today. If I'd have been here showing years ago, we'd have had one that weighed high 14s or 1500, we'd got laughed out of the barn. And because I had one that weighed 1500 here one time, so I know all about it. But today, if you go to Union or Producers or wherever, you'll watch the cattle market, you'll find that the ones that are the big ones they'll be the ones that bring the most per pound. Doesn't matter to me really. This one just wins the class pretty handily. Yeah, man, you get your hand on him. He's just really, really big top. To get behind him, he's got a big center to his portion or center to his quarter. He carries this muscle down low to his stifle. Big-footed, big-boned, athletic. Just a really good prospect or project here for the young man. I think he wins the class pretty handily. Following in a good pair of steers, and the next one I just thought he balanced up a little better. I think he's a little better and neater over his top. He's a little better about his shoulder. Good steer. I think he's very complete in his type and kind. You get a hold of him, he doesn't disappoint you at all. This young lady steers another one that's covered pretty well. He's a little more awkward when we watch him go, a little more uncoordinated off his rear too. I'd like to change him up through his front 1/3. Maybe change him when you look at him from his chest floor back. We'd just make him a little deeper in his flank. Good class. Give him a good round of applause. Nice group of fat steers.
Congratulations, Class 22. First place, Wyatt Woofer. Second place, William Birdshaw. Third place, Riley Gregg. Entering the arena at this time is all first place winners from Class 20, 21, and 22. These exhibitors are Class 20, Henry Gray, Class 21, Hunter Collier, and Class 22, Wyatt Woofer. We need all second and third place winners to be outside the arena. These exhibitors are Class 20, second place, Ian McClanahan, Class 21, second place, Clint Dollemeyer, third place, Braden O'Hearn, Class 22, second place, William Birdshaw, third place, Riley Gregg. Please be making your way outside the show arena.
We kind of get down to the end of our show here, and the fat steer thing has always been really important to me and my wife and I. We sell quite a few calves, and we don't sell as many show steers as we once did, but we're both retired now, so we're starting to do a little more of it. So it's a pleasure she got to come here tonight with me, and then along with us, we got our super farmer friend that feeds for us all the time here that came with us today too. But when we get down to the steer show thing, I hope that you folks, and I know probably more of you are family than not, but as the week goes on and you get closer to your sale, I hope you can help these kids out, because it's an expensive project. I'd venture to say some of these kids have had these steers since this time last year, and maybe even before. They perhaps were shown as feeder cattle. So they've got a ton of money in them. They've got a ton of money. They've got a ton of time. They've got a ton of work. So make sure you reward those kids when they're in the sale. I think it is so important, because this generation is going to be so important to the future of agriculture and to our lives just in general. And there's not a better program that you can find than 4-H and FFA. There's not a better place to raise your kids than in the barn, and there's not anything more fun than you can have showing at your county fair. Kelly and I all the time will be driving down the road and be listening to the radio, and we'll hear a song, and I'll say, man, that reminds me of the Clermont County Fair and things like that. And then my friend over here, Tim Trester, we probably took some people snipe hunting back in our day. but that's beside the point. Uh, you know, I appreciate beyond words could tell you of getting the opportunity to come to my home county and to evaluate. It's been a big year. I got to judge the National Charlet Show in Fort Worth this year, and that one didn't mean a nickel more to me than this one does. And I mean that is all sincerity. And that was the breed I grew up showing, and this is where I grew up showing them. So, been a big year. It's cool. Been a long day, and I appreciate it. As we get this champion steer, and we're going to pick you a top 5. We don't have a bunch of them, but I think we got some good quality. Our Santa Gertrude steer won that lightweight class. Real nice line steer. He's good in his balance. He's good in his build. You know, he's got enough cover. I don't know that he would really grade today, but I think in terms of his muscle shape is good. Our red Brockleface is a steer, is cool looking one to me. Really, really moderate builded in his build. Real good in his underline and his top line both. The symmetry is good. He's got enough muscle. He's got enough shape. Get a hold of him, you're not disappointed. He's got just enough cushion, I think, and he's very well been very well fed and very well presented. Then our big black steer, he's the man out here. I mean, that dude's big-ended, big top, big butted, big bone, sound built. Congratulations, young man. You got your champion.
Congratulations, grand champion, born and raised market steer Wyatt Woofer, breeder Woofer Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 22, second place, William Birchall. We need Class 22, third place, Riley Gregg, to be outside the arena. Congratulations, reserve champion Hunter Collier, breeder Collier Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 21, second place, Clint Dollemeyer. Congratulations, third overall, Clint Dollemeyer, breeder Hatfield Cattle. Entering the arena at this time is Class 21, third place, Braden O'Hearn. Congratulations, fourth overall, market beef, William Birchall, breeder Osborne Farms. Entering the arena at this time is Class 22, third place, Riley Gregg. Congratulations, fifth overall, market beef, Riley Gregg, breeder Osborne Farms.